Good morning, we are on day 16 of our Longbridge extension and today is roofing day. We have Matt from Hicks Carpentry with us today assisting on the build, and we will be getting all of our joists in place. So we got our wall plates on yesterday, we're just about to start marking out our layout for the joists. We're going to be including quite a large skylight in this, so that will factor into our layout, and yeah, we'll set up a time lapse and you can see how we build a flat roof.
Good morning, we are on day 17 of our Longbridge rear extension. Yesterday the roofing structure went up, which was great. I wasn't in because my wonderful brave little boy was having surgery yesterday, so I was in hospital with him. However, it's went absolutely brilliantly. He's making a full recovery, he's home today. So I am going to be focusing on getting the rest of the brickwork done. We're going to be getting the furring strips up onto the roof. That way we can have our falls ready for our decking going on, which Isaac will put on later on this afternoon. So we got the structure up yesterday. Matt from Hicks Carpentry did absolutely brilliantly. We worked with Isaac. Obviously Isaac's our apprentice, so Matt came in to do not just the roof but some teaching as well whilst I was off. This is our skylight. It is a big old space that is going to let a load of light into this space, and then obviously with the bifold doors and the light colour that the customers are going to paint inside, it's going to be flooded with light. So we have got a ladder frame here, and the reason we've done that is so we can have an overhang and we can put some soffit underneath, and it just gives the front of the building a bit of a feature, whereas the rest of it is flush with the brickwork. That way when we get that brickwork up, we can just put the fascia straight on and we can get the guttering on. So we're going to get the furring strips on now. I'll set up a time lapse and you can watch us now.
Hello everybody, we are back in our Longbridge extension, and today we will be continuing with the roof. So yesterday Matt and I got the first layer of decking down onto our flat roof. We also put all the furring strips on, so we've got the appropriate falls. So today we'll be putting our Alatrix 600, which is a self-adhesive vapor barrier, and then getting insulation down, and all going well, getting our second layer of decking down. So we will set up a number of time lapses and you'll be able to see how we work.
we are coming very close to getting the actual roof completed, which means that we are very close to becoming watertight on this job, which is good progress as we are coming towards the end of week 4, start of week 5 now. So yesterday we got the decking and the insulation on, that's the roof, and today, as it's going to be putting the rest of the decking on top of the insulation. Normally you don't really need extra decking on top of the insulation, however, belt and braces, it just means that we have a really nice flat surface that we can put our rubber down onto. I am going to be finishing off the brickwork. It's been very stop-starty over the last couple of days with the brickwork, so hopefully we'll get all of that finished off today. We've got the bifold doors going in today as well, which is really good, and then Skylight will be going in next week. So what we'll do is we'll set up a time lapse and you can watch us work. So the bifolds are going in now. We have got Neil here. Say hello, Neil.
Hi there.
Neil is from Badger Windows, based in Sturchley. They do doors, windows, Veluxes. They're really, really good at what they do. They cover most of Birmingham, West Midlands, Warwickshire, Worcestershire. I'll put their details in comments below. We have got our roof ready for rubbering, so we've got our decking on, we've got decking and then insulation and then more decking on top of that. You don't really need to put a second layer of decking on, but belt and braces, we like to do it that way. We've got a really flat surface that 1 we can walk on, 2 we can kneel on, 3 we don't puncture the insulation with our rubber tools, and 4 I just think it makes for a sturdier roof. We have got our upstand on, so this is our skylight and this is what is going to sit on, so the curve will sit on here and then the skylight will come out here. We have managed to strip this roof back and we've got our wayboard on, so we'll be able to now put some batten down here and the roofer will be able to continue the tiling over the top of our rubber. That way we have got a pretty watertight roof and it joins nice and smoothly. So what we're going to do here is when we tile down here, we're going to have a piece of lead which will create almost like an upstand, and we'll drop it onto the neighbour's roof here, because we're only going to be catching water from this section here. There's not going to be an awful lot. We've checked and they've got an adequate gutter. So upstand, we're going to be putting some insulation in between our little mini studs. That way we've got some insulation which actually conforms with the rest of the roof, therefore we don't get any cold spots on our roof. And we have got our bifold doors in, so let's have a look. Love bifold doors, they are a thing of beauty. So Neil came from Badger Windows today and put that in. He's going to come in a week on Saturday and put the Skylight in. So this opens up like this. We've got a lock here which locks the bifolds into place. So you unlock it and then all you do is just push and then nice and gently, there you go. So when we look out there, we've got a nice opening there. We've got a nice opening here for a skylight. This room is going to be flooded in light. It's going to be a really nice light kitchen. Anyway, it is Friday afternoon. We are done for the day. We will be back on Monday, and what we're going to do on Monday is we are going to board the outside of our upstand, and then we're going to get the rubber down, our Resitrix. It's our heat welded rubber, and then the roof, except for the skylight, will be pretty much finished, or should I say it'll be done from our part. It'll just be Neil's job to put the skylight in, which I said will be a week on Saturday. Good morning. We are back in our side extension at Longbridge, and today we're going to be doing fascia and rubber. So if you have a look behind me, you'll see that the fascia board needs to go on, and that is around the entirety of a building. Once we've got that on, we can then put our rubber on and we can make our roof watertight. So the upstand has been fasciaed, so that's all ready. We'll set up a time lapse and you can watch. So we've got all of our fascia on except for this little bit here, which is quite awkward because this is the existing roof. So we need our fascia to almost be a point with a little part running down there and running across and going underneath this layboard here. So we've had to do a diagram, which we've done here, of what it is, and Isaac is just cutting that as we speak. Now the issue we're going to have to do it in two pieces, and the reason for that is because we have got a load of offcuts, but none of them are quite the right size. So instead of going out and buying a bigger board or a fresh piece of board where most of it's going to be wasted, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this section here and this section here, and we're going to splice them with a piece of timber behind to make one structure, and then we'll put that into our gap here, and then we can get our plastic fascia on. So we've got our first piece of Resitrix down now. It is absolutely scorching this afternoon, so we've got all of the primer down, which is a black stuff. Quick tip for anyone doing rubbering: do not get primer, FG35 primer, on your knees or in your leg hairs, because it will never come out, so you will have to shave it, which is what I've done. So we've got the first strip down. Isaac is just going over with a seam roller to make sure that all our edges are really nicely adhered to the primer, and then we have got, as you can see here, a borderline which is 50mm, so our next piece of rubber will adhere or come up to this, and then we will heat weld the edge, and that's what makes the whole So at the moment we are heat welding our Resitrix together. We've got all the mats laid out and we've got everything stuck down to the primer, but the seams of the Resitrix, they need to be welded down. This one's already welded down because it's 30 degrees at the moment, so it is really hot. That's something to bear in mind when you're doing a rubber roof, is that temperatures can affect things like the setting time of your primer and also your rubber actually sticking to itself before it's been heat welded. So he's got a heat welding gun and he's got a seam roller there. And what you do is you go underneath the seam, you heat up this bitumen, which is absolutely red hot. It's melting in this temperature at the moment. And then you run the seam roller in, and what you're looking at is a small bleed out, and this is what makes this is what vulcanizes this piece of rubber to this, hence making this one sheet and this seam completely watertight. See, we've got a nice bleed out coming there. Bleed out is the melted bitumen which comes out of the seam. Good morning. Today is going to be a productive day. Yesterday was a very productive day. We managed to get all of the fascia on and all of our rubber, except for a couple of pieces on the upstands, which Isaac is finishing now. So the plan of action for today, we are going to get the dividing wall, which is this one, knocked out. We're going to take out some of the kitchen units, and then we are going to be able to focus on measuring up for putting the new floor in. And we are also looking, if we've got time, to maybe put some guttering in and get everything ready for the electrician that is coming tomorrow to do his first fix. So swing around and you can have a look. So this is the inside. We've taken out the doors, the sliding patio doors. We're going to be taking this wall out. We've taken this pillar out already. We are going to be taking out this section of this unit. So we're taking the sink out as we speak, and then we'll take the worktop off and get these units out. And I will show you upstairs. So we have managed to get our rubber down. We've got our upstand on. We've got our upstand here on. Isaac is just finishing this little section here. And then all we've got is this side of the upstand to do. And then just our corner profiles. And this roof will be watertight from here onwards. Now this existing pitched roof here, we are blocking in this Velux window, which is there, and we're going to completely refelt and batten and tile this roof. That way it just provides for a better finish. Instead of trying to relay these tiles, we can give them almost a new pitched roof. It's not a great big section, and we can make it look really nice for the customer, and also we can make it aesthetically pleasing to join onto our new roof, as opposed to just having it overhang and that is it. No, we want it all to flow nicely, so we're going to have this section redone. So we're coming to the last stages of our rubber roofing now, and what we need to do is we need to make sure that our joints around our upstand and the corners, especially these sections here, which are the weak sections, this is where water will get into if they're not adequately welded. We need to put almost what we call a circular patch or a kidney patch on this corner here, which will protect this section, especially this section here. So stretching it allows this to happen. It allows this to go around the corner and for everything to be nice and flatly welded without there being any wrinkles in there. Luckily, because of the temperatures, we're able to actually get it down, and it will stay in place because it's starting to melt whilst we're able to heat weld it. So we have torch the bitumen, and then seam and penny roll it to the existing. Once it's stuck down, we can then get the corners really tight in, and then we can get end-top glue that. Good morning, we are back on our Longbridge extension and today we're going to be starting on the internals. So I will flip you around and you can have a look. We managed to get this pillar out, the door and all the wall out as well yesterday, so that was good. We've taken a little bit of the kitchen out for the customer because all this is going to be going, and they needed to empty what they could, so obviously there's food and stuff in there, therefore we're going to leave that for the time being. We have got the electrical first fix going on now, so we've got Phil and Big Jim from Electrodyne. They are going to be doing our electrical work for the extension and for the new kitchen, although we are not putting the kitchen in. The customer himself, who is a carpenter, is putting the kitchen in. Goal for today will be to get the guttering up on this side elevation here. We've got gutter trim, so we've got rainwater trim on here, and the roof falls that way, which means that all we need is guttering on here, and then we're going to be having a downspout leading down here to this gully there. We are also going to be, if I can get in and show you, we're also going to be blocking up what was that old Velux window, so we'll build a timber frame with a noggin, put some plasterboard in, and then that'll be ready to skim. And then we've also got a bit of remedial work to do over here. So what I think we're going to do is probably have a piece of timber which will attach to this, and then some sheet material which will attach to that new timber, and it will go up flush with the roof, and it will create our box for us. So we will put you on time lapse and you can watch everyone work. Neil's back from Badger Windows. He's going to be putting our Skylight in today, so we'll set you up on the roof. So Neil is done, Skylight is in. It is a thing of beauty. Look at that bad boy. Beautiful blue tint on the outside of the window, nice and clear on the inside. Yep, we are more than happy with that. We'll have a quick look from the inside. Don't know if you can see on the camera, but it has got almost a blue tint to it. It's more noticeable on the outside than it is on the inside. That is supposed to be a property to allow the windows to self-clean, especially when it rains. But we are happy with that. So we're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to start plasterboarding. Good morning, it's Sunday, it's very windy, but we don't care. We are doing this roof today. So we're going to get the pitch roof stripped back, new felt, new pattern, tiles and some dry verge put on, and we're going to make it so it looks really, really good. We have got Lee here. Lee, say hello. From LLJ Roofing Limited, based in Redditch. Look him up for all your roofing needs. He's on Checker Trade and the internet. I'll set you up on time lapse and you can watch his work.